A major AEW star is injured and has been pulled from WrestleDream this weekend. Plus, an AEW champion was cleared to return on Dynamite last night at the very last minute and is a popular faction about to reunite in WWE. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Once again, a major story around the AEW World title has been blighted by injury. I feel like this has happened a fair few times now. Maybe only once or twice, but it feels quite significant.
Yeah, maybe not as much as in previous years at least, which is nice in some ways, but also like a shame in other ways as well.
And this is a crying shame. What's happened, Andrew?
So on Dynamite last night, Adam Cole came out with a heavy cast on his leg, revealing that when he hopped off the stage last week at Dynamite Grand Slam, he broke his ankle in 3 different places and tore ligaments. Consequently, Adam Cole will need surgery, he said. He promised to return to AEW as soon as he possibly could. Cole was about to relinquish the ROH Tag Team Championships, however, but MJF instead insisted that he'll defend the titles on his own in a handicap match at WrestleDream against the Righteous. Roderick Strong and the Kingdom then came out, and it was tremendous. Adam! Roddy was in a hospital gown beckoning Adam Cole to go with him. He does, and MJF even gives him his blessing to go, because we got the little bit on the boat and he was like, oh, people can have more than one friend? Oh, okay.
I want to talk about the boat bit in a bit, but oh my gosh, this is just this is a bad roll for AEW. They were literally on a roll until Adam Cole's ankle rolled last week, and it seems to put the stoppers on where they're going with it, but I mean, put an asterisk there.
Put a pin in it, because I feel like whilst yes, this is such a huge, disappointing thing to happen for a really fun storyline in AEW at the moment, it still feels like they're working the injury around what could possibly happen. I feel like even though the injury has happened, there's still things happening within the storyline that is pushing it forward, which is quite, I think that's intuitive. I think that's a good way to go about it.
Which we'll speculate on in just a second. So Adam Cole leaves with Roderick Strong, and Jay White and Bullet Club Gold enter the scene. We have a back and forth with Cole and MJF, in which MJF has now given Jay White the nickname Tofu. That's bound to stick. Bound to stick. And it looks as if we're going to get Adam Cole and Jay White at some point for the AEW World title.
MJF and Jay White.
Sorry, MJF and Jay White. Thank you.
Well, unless Adam Cole does something dastardly.
No,
who knows?
He was hobbling away that way. No, MJF and Jay White competing at some point for the AEW World title. Probably the most exciting thing that's happened to Tofu since it was a hidden character in Resident Evil 2 that time. Oh my
God, the references.
What a throwback truly is. Now, on the subject of the friendship of Adam Cole and MJF, we had a lovely segment with them on a boat. MJF took out his dad's boat and they went fishing together. And it was briefly teased that because Roddy and Adam Cole are still mates, MJF might finish off.
Yeah, he goes to the beer cooler, doesn't he? And he slyly puts on the Dynamite diamond ring. And Adam's like, you didn't bring me out on this boat to hit me with the Dynamite diamond ring, did you, MJF? And he's like, oh no, why would I do that?
MJF seems cool with the fact that people can have more than one friend.
Yes.
And they continue fishing, and what a fish they hook. It is only flipping Paul White dressed in his Captain Insano attire in a duck rubber dinghy.
Which was a wonderful surprise. I wasn't expecting that at all. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
They have a nice little beer on the boat as well. I enjoyed that cameo. So that was a fun little bit in a rather bittersweet night for AEW Dynamite. Now, it ended with a lot of question marks.
There was a lot of question marks, right? So Dynamite closed with Jay White being attacked by a faction all dressed in black with their faces covered. The last shot we see, though, is one of them wearing MJF's devil mask. Now, fan speculation has sort of been going wild on the internet, obviously. Some names have been thrown around there. Edge, Adam Copeland, who has reportedly got closer to AEW recently.
Could be Edge.
Some people saying Dolph Ziggler, which would be unlikely due to his 90-day no-compete clause. And even Adam Cole, that's been a name that's been thrown around, obviously, who believe some is faking the injury, along with Roddy Strong and the Kingdom. them getting involved. I've seen some people maybe even saying Kyle O'Reilly. If Adam Cole is a little bit injured, maybe Kyle O'Reilly is, healthy enough to come back and do a little bit of something there as well.
Quite possibly. So
it's exciting. I'm really looking forward to the MJF Jay White thing, because this obviously feels like this is getting more heat on MJF, even though this is probably not MJF in this role.
No.
That's doing all this stuff backstage to Jay White there. So.
But the identity of who it is certainly something that's got the internet talking. Sean Ross Sapp made a really good point. He said, personally, I think if this is going to turn out to be somebody new coming in, that's not them under the masks and in wearing black right now. That would be foolish. Kind of hinting that obviously Dolph Ziggler was one of those names that was suggested. Mark Henry on Busted Open Radio had said that Dolph Ziggler is at the top of AEW's list of people they'd like to bring in, but obviously they can't do anything with Dolph until the 90-day no compete is up. So it could end up being Dolph if they want to tease it for no! Oh, what are you doing?
It's retribution, isn't it?
It's retribution!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, no, no, because they're tremendous people
gonna
within there.
inject AEW with a lethal dose of poison. Me and retribution. No, don't do it, you cowards! Don't do it. The Adam Cole theory fascinates me because there is a general school of thought that this whole Adam Cole injury could be a ruse. We could be getting flim-flammed by Adam Cole, baby. Possibly, maybe. Dr. Britt Baker did go on Twitter sharing photos of Adam Cole's foot looking pretty gnarly and an x-ray that looked pretty broken, as suggesting that basically the injuries that he sustained were legit. You could fake that.
You could. I mean, the shot, I believe we don't see from the waist down, so it could still be Adam Cole. I don't know. I think they're gonna throw a little curveball here and there.
Also, Fraser Porter pointed out before I came downstairs, so all onus on Fraser Porter if this isn't the case. One of the hooded people had quite a thick neck.
Who's got a thick neck?
Roderick Strong with his... his neck break.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
What a gorgeous thick neck you've got.
I was thinking of who has a thick neck, and the first person I thought about, and I believe it's the singer from Cannibal Corpse. I was like, the thickest neck you've ever seen in the world. And I was like, imagine.
Can we get a shot of his thick neck from Cannibal Corpse?
He's a sweetheart, by the way, apparently. He's such a nice guy in videos that I've seen.
Sweetheart, thick neck.
Exactly.
There was another injury last week that we talked about on AEW Dynamite. In fact, as Tony Khan revealed, there were 2 other injuries on Dynamite last night.
Yeah,
so last week, rather.
Tony Khan gave us an update on Jon Moxley just before Dynamite went on the air. He said last week at Grand Slam, Rey Fénix won the international title. Now, both Fénix and the former champ Jon Moxley were injured in the bout. AEW doctors are unable to clear Moxley tonight, but moments ago they did clear Fénix, who will defend his title in an open challenge tonight, and then Fénix went on to retain the AEW international title against Jeff Jarrett.
Ah, my best mate.
Yeah, your best mate, best friends.
I'm gutted that Jeff didn't win the title. That'd have been lovely.
And you didn't go out and help him win.
I was busy. I
was
busy attacking Jay White. He's done it. He's done it.
My goodness.
The other injury on Dynamite last night was to the sound department, as there was a bunch of technical glitches that blighted people watching in America. If you were in the States and you were watching, I think it was the East Coast version with the Christian Cage, Darby Allin sit down with JR, they both sounded like robots and no one quite knew what points they were making. Tony Khan apologised and said, I apologise for the persistent issues at TBS tonight with Dynamite's feed. As I understand, there were issues at TBS with a new operating system. Thankfully, AEW's international feeds were unaffected. We're working now to put a clean feed on TBS West later tonight. I think they just turned it off and on again.
Yes, I'm probably right.
More than likely. We'll end on a bit from NXT coming up this weekend. It is NXT No Mercy. Butch has got a showdown for the Heritage Cup, and he might be bringing some back home.
Yeah, so he took to X, formerly Twitter, and said, I need a second at No Mercy on on Saturday. Noam Dar is going to have all of Metaphor out there, so I've asked an old mate to watch my back, someone who knows Noam and the Heritage Cup rules pretty well. He said this while sharing a photo of himself in the ring with a little old Tyler Bate and closed it with BSS one night only, BSS being British Strong Style.
Yeah, now we got little glimpses of British Strong Style during NXT UK. Obviously, Tyler Bate and Trent Severed as Mustache Mountain were NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Pete Dunne in the mix as well as that as well. But I don't think we ever got like a proper run with all three.
Well, there was.
They kind of did their own things.
There was I believe a match between them three and the Undisputed Era at the time.
Yes.
Was it Strong or was it? I can't remember if it was Fish or Strong. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and they all had a match together. But it was nothing like their sort of work in progress, which was the thing that brought me back into wrestling.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about seeing stuff like this again, and hopefully it leads to something more.
So a BSS reunion on Saturday, possibly, at NXT No Mercy. Then on Sunday, it is AEW WrestleDream. Live reactions with myself and Fraser Porter throughout the night on Sunday. Plus, you've got 9 pitches waiting for you right now. He's been a wild wizard once again. Seriously, I don't know. I think
wild wizard. Ross's final pitch that he does, by the way, everybody. Even if you don't enjoy watching the videos, please go and watch the final one. It's about the Christian Cage and Darby Allin match, and it is tremendous.
I don't want to say magnum opus.
I think it might actually be his magnum opus.
Might be magnum opus. Predictions on the channel later on today as well. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you, bye.